What's up, fight fans? Thank you, as always, for passing by the channel. Much appreciated. All right, let's talk the Jackal, Carl Frampton. Obviously, it's been announced now that he'll take on Luke Jackson at Windsor Park. When is it? 18th of August. And that's his big fight, right? That's the one he wanted. He wants to fight Windsor Park, the home of Northern Ireland Football Club, and he's got it. But unfortunately, he's not got the opponent he wanted. He's not got anywhere near the opponent he wanted. In fact, he's not got the opponent that we wanted. And that's what's more important, right? The fans. And look, to me, I don't blame Carl Frampton. I can't give Carl Frampton any stick. I think Carl Frampton will fight anyone in the division. I think he's openly said, look, he wants the Santa Cruz rematch. He wanted Valdez. He wanted Selby if Selby came through Warrington. But obviously, that didn't happen. And that really put a spanner in the works because obviously it was never going to be Warrington. That would be stupid if Frank Warren wants to kind of match up Warrington with Frampton. It doesn't make any sense. Two separate markets. You can kill them both. But Luke Jackson really isn't anywhere near the name that I think you want when it's your big day, when it's your stadium fight that you've been craving for years. You've got it. This isn't the opponent you want. It isn't really, is it? The big problem here is Frank Warren. Frank Warren, obviously, in signing Carl Frampton, said, look, I can get you that stadium fight. No problem. And he's done it, to be fair. Frank Warren's delivered it. But that's just one part. You can't just deliver the stadium. You've got to deliver the fight for the stadium. I mean, everyone's craving these stadium fights now. Understandably so. But you've got to have, to me, a legit opponent. If it's not a legit opponent, there's got to be a world title on line. This offers nothing because there's no world title on the line. Don't be fooled by the fight posters. This is an interim WBO title fight, which really means not much, to be honest. Look, I don't understand why Frank would book a stadium, book a date, without having an opponent 110% secured. Like, without even having. People might say, okay, yeah, it was supposed to be Selby. Even if Selby came through against Warrington, which was a big if, Selby would have had to have probably had a 6-week break and then start camp again. And I think that's too soon. He would have done it because the money would have been too good. There would have been a title on the line. It would have been fantastic. It might have even gone on pay-per-view, so let's be happy it probably didn't happen. But I think that was too risky. We knew Valdez was out because of the broken jaw. We knew Santa Cruz and Mars wasn't going to take the fights. Obviously, they've just been in matchups. Gary Russell Jr. is in a fight as well. So who else? I don't understand why you would book the stadium when all the top guys are fully booked. What's the rush? Like, what was the rush to book this for 18th of August? Could have waited, I think, another month, right? Another month, early September. And then you probably would have got, I don't know, maybe Santa Cruz, maybe. But right now, it just looks a bit, let's be honest, it's a bit naff, isn't it? And look, no disrespect to Jackson. He's someone I've actually followed for quite a while, and not because of boxing. Very random this is, but I follow a bodybuilder called Mike Rashid. You guys can check him out, quite interesting, vegan. I'm trying to get into vegan food. And he goes to Australia a lot to do the kind of like, I don't know, the bodybuilding expos. And he's into boxing a bit. And lo and behold, when he goes to Australia, he's trained by this kid, Luke Jackson. So I kind of found out about Luke Jackson about a year and a half ago. Again, not because of boxing. But again, you look at Luke Jackson's record and there is absolutely nothing that stands out. He last fought a guy who was 7-8. Before that, a guy called Santiago, 14-3. He's not really had that big fight, right? This is his big fight and he's 33. So again, it's not much of a fight. What's worrying for me with Frampton, aside from all of this shit, is this. I watched interviews the other day. I saw an interview with Gary Russell Jr. I saw an interview with Mars and Santa Cruz before they fought. I even saw the post-fight interview with Santa Cruz talking about who he's going to fight next. None of them mentioned Carl Frampton. None of them mentioned Carl Frampton. It's as though his profile in the States has dropped just a bit, which you guys might not think is a problem because he's a fighter in the UK. But when all the fighters that he wants to fight are based in the States, I wonder if he's going to have a problem getting these guys. I wonder if he's going to have a problem because, look, even he put a tweet out. I think he saw the video of Santa Cruz talking about possible opponents, and he kind of put a tweet out saying, look, I'm over here. I've not gone anywhere. He badly wants that trilogy, but Santa Cruz is just not even talking about it. Santa Cruz is talking about a fight with Gary Russell Jr. So it's interesting. It's interesting. Fingers crossed he comes through this, and then maybe he gets the Valdez fight early next year. That's what I hope. But I think he might have to travel for that fight. But that's kind of what I hope. But this isn't what he wanted. This isn't a stadium fight. It isn't that big stadium fight anyway, which is probably why they've had to put Tyson Fury in there. They've got Paddy Barnes in there as well to kind of fill it a bit. But he might have to start doing things a bit better with Frampton. Because again, booking this stadium fight when there is no opponent out there or named, I think it's a bit silly. I think it's a bit silly. Stadium fights for me are real live opponents or a world title. That's it, nothing else. And if it isn't that, then what's the point in it?